I don't think I've ever been more nervous to film a video ever, except maybe my first video, and let's hope this goes better than that one. Hello friends, my name is Katie and this is a really exciting video that I have been dreaming of making. The only thing that comes close to my excitement and nervousness is if I was actually announcing that I had an agent or that I was signed or I was like, a book was going to be published, but it is a one step down from that. Perhaps, maybe. As you can tell by the title, I'm looking for beta readers for my book. In case you are new here, I've been writing a book since November 2019. I finished the first behemoth of a draft in April of 2020, and I'm currently working on the third draft of said book now and doing a full rewrite, and it is getting pretty close to done. Kind of. We'll get into it. So I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about my book and everything you might need to know if you would like to become a beta reader. The first link in the description is a Google form link that you can go to and fill out the questions. I do want to say up front though, I am only going to be accepting 3 or 4 betas this round. Obviously, I encourage everyone to apply. However, please don't take it personally if I don't pick you, that I don't want too much feedback, you know, too many cooks in the kitchen, that sort of thing. Before we actually get into the meat and potatoes of this video and of my novel, because I'm going to tell you about it so you actually know what you're signing up for, I want to give a couple of trigger warnings for this book in particular. So I write high fantasy and it is an adult book. So I would rate it personally R probably if I was going to give it like a movie rating. There are depictions of graphic violence, gore, blood, body horror, murder, torture, and scars. Those are prevalent things that are in the story itself. I would also say that if self-harm triggers you, or the discussion of self-harm is something that makes you uncomfortable, obviously you know yourself, but however, I will warn you that that is something that is heavily prevalent in this book. The magic system in the book is blood magic and it does involve self-harm in order to use it. So if that is something that is triggering for you, please keep that in mind. I don't want anyone to be uncomfortable or triggered. You know yourself, you know your own mind. Just as a quick warning. Also, a little less extreme, there are sexual scenes and mature conversations surrounding sex, so if that is also something that makes you uncomfortable, you know yourself. But just so you're aware of what this book entails when it comes to triggers, because obviously that is something that I think you all should know about it. If none of that bothers you, or that's some stuff that you enjoy reading about, you know, we'll get into it. So without further ado, I'm going to read you my synopsis of The Wrath King. Did I say the name of the book? It's The Wrath King, name pending. I have another name in my head, but I'm going to continue to call it The Wrath King just for clarity's sake, and because I'm pretty sure that's not going to end up being the actual title, I feel okay and comfortable sharing it. Let's just get into the synopsis. I am going to be looking at my computer to read it, so that's why I'm looking down. The Wrath King is a multi-POV, dark, high epic fantasy and book 1 of a planned duology. 2 months ago, the Wrath King cut off a tyrant's head and ended a bloody civil war. Peace arrives just before a long, brutal winter, when a brutal massacre in the heart of Azaro's capital brings a fresh wave of terror. Lucian Darkknight, a blood magician of one of the 4 houses of magic, is determined to find the murderers. Having spent the last decade learning to wield his blood as a weapon and walk in the memories of others, he uses the memory of the only survivor to unravel the mystery. Wesley Noreen, veteran and war hero, longs for nothing more than a normal life with his lover. Unfortunately, his lover is now the ruling king of Azaro and about to be wed to a northern lady. On the bachelor's weekend hunting trip, Wesley, the Wrath King, and their inner circle are attacked by an undead beast rank with dark magic. With his king injured and dying, Wesley must travel to the Silver Wastes to find a cure to save the love of his life. Lady Nola Swan arrives at the palace in Azaro with a sword on her back and an unbreakable vow to her dead father. As the sister of the future queen, she must protect the secrets that threaten to end both their lives. All she has to do is keep her sister alive and safe until the wedding. Unfortunately, an unknown adversary coils in the dark, waiting to strike. As our 3 protagonists struggle to find their footing in the bloody chaos, the god of death rises in the Silver Wastes to ruin the balance of life and magic. So that's the synopsis of The Wrath King. That's what the book's about. It has 3 POV characters, Lucian, Wesley, and Nola. So I have a small confession. I haven't finished the rewrite of the book yet. I am about halfway through. However, I want to get a jump start on finding my betas. I'm looking to have the full book out to my chosen betas by March 15th, and I would like all of my beta feedback to be returned to me by May 31st / June 1st, like that weekend, the Saturday and then the Monday. So the finished product of The Wrath King is about 90K to 100K or 350 pages roughly on Google Docs, 1.15 spacing, 12-point font, and Times New Roman. This is the third draft, as I said in my intro, but it's been completely rewritten in the last couple of months. I do believe that it's better than the first draft because I have a much better grasp on the story, the plot, the prose, and the flow. Not to worry, I'm not giving you this completely unedited. So, since there's a lot of time between March 15th and May 31st, I want to talk a little bit about my process and what I'm looking for in beta readers. On the Google form that I have linked down below that you can fill out if you are interested in being a beta reader, I have a lot of questions regarding how you personally would like to give me beta feedback. I have two methods that I'm thinking of using when it comes to feedback. The first is a questionnaire with specific questions that I would like you to answer in regards to literary elements, character arcs, plot points, etc. I am planning on using that for everyone, at least in some capacity, unless you're like, Katie, I don't need that. I'm going to cover all that in my feedback note to you. Don't worry about it. You know, we're flexible. The second method is you send me your thoughts and opinions and feedback either in like a Google Doc or in an email, whatever you like. This gives you more freedom to be more specific with certain things that you liked or didn't like, or certain things you want to actually bring up when it comes to the novel itself. Please try to be as detailed as you can on the Google form so that I can know what your style is like, and I can maybe hopefully find some who will hopefully fit me and be able to help me the most. You know what I mean? Also, if you're the type of person who also likes to give notes and little things and comment directly on a Google Doc, I do have a Google Doc. That's how I usually receive my feedback from my friends. I can send you a Google Doc of the parts or the chapters, whatever you'd like. However, if you do that method, I will say that I would like you to fill out the questionnaire so you can tell me specific things, because I find that the Google comments tend to not be as detailed. I mean, this is all like nuanced, so you know, we can give and take, you know, we'll see. But just so you know, and just so I can have all the feedback in one place. And I will discuss this with my chosen beta readers specifically, but I do want to mention that the amount of novel can be negotiated in terms of timeline. So if you want the book in chunks, 3 or 4 chapters at a time, we can do that. If you want it all together in one fell swoop, we can do that. If you want a set schedule, I can do that. If you want parts at regular intervals, we can do that. I don't want anyone to be overwhelmed, and I want everyone to feel like they can properly give me their feedback and not feel overwhelmed or feel like they have to, you know, rush through giving me feedback. So this plays into the reason why I'm looking for betas now. Before we start and before we come to like an agreement on being beta and author, I will send you the first 50 pages of the book, and I would like feedback in any way, shape, and style that you tend to give feedback in. Of course, individually, I will email you about this and ask you what your style is, so if I have to prepare a questionnaire, I can do that. This will give you a sense of my book, my style, and what the book really entails. Since, you know, from a synopsis, it's hard to really grasp what the actual book is, and it will give me a look into your feedback style to see if I think we will work well together. So my last thing is about the requirements that I ask of you if you want to become a beta reader. I know from personal experience that beta reading takes a lot of mental and physical energy, so please only sign up if you are willing to give your all into helping me. I want beta readers that are passionate about this project, that want to help me make this book the best it can be. I'm not asking you to give me all of your time, and I'm not going to be demanding, but I do want you all to know that I do take this really seriously, which is a little bit silly to say, but it's also true. I would prefer that you at least read some fantasy. However, I'm not exclusively looking for all fantasy readers, because like if you have comments on characters, you don't necessarily have to be someone who reads fantasy and knows fantasy conventions. I also really would like an open dialogue between us, me, the author, and you, the beta reader. And I'm very open when it comes to different types of communication. I just want to have a fun time. I want to have a nice relationship with my beta readers. I think it's going to be fun. I'm hoping that it's fun, obviously. I just ask for respect and honesty when it comes to the feedback on my work. I want to know what you like, what you don't like, and why. I'm just asking for honesty and respect. That'll make me happy. I feel like most people on AuthorTube know this and can do that and are that, so yeah. But I thought I'd just put that in there as my little disclaimer so you know what I'm about and what I'm expecting in terms of our relationship. I would also like to note that I haven't never had anyone beta read my books before, so this is me just going off of my own research and what I think I would like. I may shake up the process at some point, but of course I will extend you the same courtesy of being open with my communication and open with all of the things that I'm doing when it comes to our relationship as beta and author. That's it. I'm looking for betas, which is literally so exciting. I can't believe this, that by March 15th, the book is gonna be in other people's hands. Which is wild. So yeah, The beta reader form is going to be linked down below. It's a Google form, just a couple of quick questions to help me get to know you. I don't know how many people are going to be signing up to be my beta reader. Thank you guys so much for watching, for being on this journey with me. Thank you so much for 300 subscribers. Holy shit, that like feels like so many. There's so many of us in this little community, and we're just getting started. We're having so much fun. So yeah, happy vedif, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.